Board book of Octavius, captain of
Right,
Latortius.
this is very loud to begin with. I'm going to turn it down as soon as I can. It's the same with the old DOS games. So we're going to do Roman campaign and the first one. I'm going to go through them all. So pause the screen and read that. I'm going to turn the music down because this is just... Oh, right. Turn that right down as well. Right, so this is Settlers 2. This is something I used to play when I was younger. I will do the Roman campaign because honestly, really loved playing this before. I've not played it for quite some years, so I'm going to go through how I play it. So basically, um, we've probably got a lot of similar games now, like Age of Empires, for example. But I've always found Settlers 2 to be like one of the games that you really like to play. Um, we're a Roman, it's a Roman campaign. Um, so basically, you've got the world map, so you can tell that we're here. So we've got to explore these other areas. So the first thing that we do is basically get building. So we need to make sure that we've got woodcutters to get the basic materials, and we should have a sawmill. So these are the first things that I would do, and then I would do a quarry down here. So the flags are where the people stand to be able to pass the material from one another. So because it's the first chapter, it's like the introduction to the game. So it's basic buildings. So as you can see, you've got like a castle, you've got the bigger buildings, and you've got the smaller buildings. So we've only got choice of 3 buildings to begin with. Um, if you press V on your keyboard, you see this come up in the top right hand corner. That just makes them walk a bit quicker. Can you see? So it just makes the game go a little bit quicker. I always do it on these earlier ones. I haven't really gone on the earlier games for a while because, I've completed them all once upon a time. So, yeah, basically, I don't often start off with the new ones, but I thought, do you know what? We'll start off at the beginning. I'll put them all into a playlist, and then you can enjoy watching them. So we can put the house names on so we can see if it's a woodcutter, the sawmill, and the quarry. So really, this is the beginning of it. So we just need to wait for them to build the buildings and start doing what they need to do. So as you can see, they've got red underneath, which is 0% at the minute because they've only just started. But what you'll find in later game is that when they've run out of the material that's in their area, then basically they will just go red, so then you know to burn down the building to get a little bit of space. So if we bring up this, it gives you different stats and whatnot. So you'll probably see me going into different stats. Oh, so the 8th day after the shipwreck, the basic requirements of building up our settlement have been met. However, the supply of trees in the region will not last long. We need a forester to ensure that the long-term supply of the timber. So here we go. I always try and build a forester further out because honestly they go crackers with it. So there we go. So if you click on the headquarters, you can see what material you have. So we really don't have much material. And like I say, as the game progresses, I'll show you a little bit more of it. But if we go to next page, we can see what workers we've got as well. We've got 7 soldiers, and they're the basic. And then in the later games, you upgrade them to the generals, officers, sergeants. You want them all generals, really, because the private ones are just don't last very long in battle. You have to send quite a lot of numbers in. We can actually protect this fortress with a little bit more. So if somebody come in, you know, clicked on our headquarters, at least we've got a little bit of protection there. So I was just about to show you the statistics. So as you can see, we've got 6 other players on this small map. So size of my country is saying is higher than other people's at the minute. Oh, here we go, another message. We're still not sure whether we only need people, where are the other people on the island. As a precautionary measure, we should erect a barracks to make sure that the borders are protected in the interior of the island. So that's what we will do. So, oh, another one. Yeah, it's just telling us about the mining now. So I'm going to build a barracks up here. I'm going to put it right there. When you're doing your flags, try not to knock as many buildings out as possible. And what I always do with a forester, because you don't need this man here, is I always take the path away because it, you know, they can do an extra tree there as well. Unless it's a road that goes off somewhere else, but I always tend to do it like that. I'm actually going to do another quarry person. No, not a quarry person. I want to do another woodcutter because, trust you me, that little forester will be very productive. Right, so we're doing a barracks up here, so we can probably tell that this is like the end of an island here. So we don't need to do it in this corner. And if you click on the buildings, you can see if the sawmill's got enough wood in, that kind of thing. Down here, you've got like pigeon post kind of thing, which is the new type of barracks. So what we're waiting on now is this barracks building so that we can spread out across the island and we can explore a little bit more. There's different terrain in Settlers 2. So you've got the water where you can go fishing when you get a fishing hut. And this bit up here, that's the mining area. So you're probably going to get coal, iron ore, gold, or stone. Coal, yeah, coal, iron, gold, stone. So what I'm going to do then, because you can see these are the mining plots, I'm just going to click on one of the flags here, not onto the main bit because it'll stop it from finding areas. And what you're going to do is call a geologist to it, and I normally do 2. And what will happen is little white blokes, little white hats will walk up to there and they'll start finding the iron ore. Nice slip of the tongue there, wasn't it? So I'm going to build another barracks up here to try and push up this island to see who's out there. But we need to have a little look. And it tells you the military buildings occupied. We just need to have a look to see what resources we've got on here. So we found iron ore, so we can do weapons. We also need hunters and fishermen, so again the game's opening up quite a bit. So while they're finding their bits and bats, what we're going to do is we're going to get a fishery sorted, and I don't think I can connect it to anything. There we go. I'm going to delete that bit of road, and you see I have to connect this bit now because it's connected to the fishery. And what else did we say we had? So we've got fishery, hunter, armoury, iron smelter and iron mine. And I found iron. So a lot going on now. So what I would do is the hunter, probably just, yeah, we can put one on because there's a few rabbits running around. There's some ducks, rabbits there, see what they can get. But what we're going to do is put an iron mine right there. Now, remember when I said earlier about these bigger buildings here? Well, if you click on them now, we've got an iron smelter and an armoury. So you need the iron smelter to smelt the iron, but you need the armoury to make the tools. So what I would always recommend is when you start building, especially around like your spawn area, is to make sure you've got decent pathways. So when out the headquarters, you always want at least 4 or 5 paths if possible, because it will get backed up around your headquarters. Also, they've found fresh water, which we will need. So, let you into a little secret. With Settlers 2, you can build a spring on any green land and you get water. Um, you don't need to get a geologist to find it. So, we've got a well, basically. So I could just pop a little well here and it'll still do it. Just a little bug in the game. Right, so as you can see now, if we look at the map, we're spreading out quite a bit. I don't know where these other people are because honestly, there's not much. So we're going to start bumping into someone soon. So what we'll do is we'll build a barracks there and another barracks there. Let's just get a few barracks on the go. It's one of these where in later games you'll probably have like the stone guard houses, or you'll have the towers or the big I can't remember what they're called, but the big fortresses. So you'll be able to house more in them. So because we've built further up here, I want to call a geologist up here to see if we've got any coal, which I'm guessing there will be coal up there, considering it's making us build the iron smelter and armoury. So we can see his fisherman is working. So he's at 24%, so he must have got a fish. Have we got a fish in here? Got 3. Look, he's coming out of his building. Busy at work. So we're trying to build upwards here now. You see, we've got some more stone. We could do another quarry here. So we've ensured the fuel supply. Yeah, so we've got coal, which we guessed, which is good. And to be perfectly honest with you, it's very tempting to build iron mines and all these iron around it. Trust you me, just one iron mine in the middle of it will actually deplete it all in the area. So don't use all your resources and all your miners to go into different mines like another iron mine. Maybe that one up there, but not these ones. It will deplete them all in the area. So to be perfectly honest with you, we know there's coal up here. We could just go get rid of that flag and go on to the one that we know is a coal mine. just to make sure. But that will then mine all the coal in that area. So there's a open fertile plain in the north. There'll be lots of new opportunities for expanding the settlement, but we need more soldiers to do this. Go to the northern plain and continue expanding the border. Oh, another message. After advancing further north, we have finally found enough space for building farms. There we go. So we can actually have all the farm stuff now as well. So we'll probably have the farm building, we'll have the mill and whatnot as well soon. So let's just check what we've got now. Oh, we've still not given us the mill. I'm probably going to do another woodcutter because honestly, he's on one, that forester. Look at state. Right, so it's a matter of just keeping building now again. But as you can see, this is going to be the big walkway up here. So I just like to put some extra ones in just in case they get backed up. You could potentially get rid of that one and just go across there, just so that it can go up that way or that way. Try and make it easier for the walkways, I'd say. We've got a bit of coal here anyway. So we need to check how many soldiers we've got. You see this reserve of 5, we can't really have 5 because we don't have many soldiers to actually send out, so until we build more. So to actually make a soldier, you will need beer, you will need 1 sword and 1 shield, and basically it will generate one of the private people, soldiers. So that's how you do it. So we haven't got a brewery yet, but again we will do in later games. So we've built up to the top of the island. I'm actually thinking they're not building at all. The size of their... It would have gone up a lot more. So there we go. So earlier on it says we need to build a farm. Now my biggest advice with building farms is try and get as much space as possible for the farms. So as you can see there, what I've done is I've like dipped this road round, and actually you could go up here this way and get rid of this because you've got more of the castle areas. So basically make sure you pick an area that's got plenty of land round it for a farm building, and don't have foresters near it because honestly they'll just destroy the space that you've got. So this iron mine's doing well, look, it's been given a lot of food. Now what we'll find is that we've got limited food and they're just funneling it all to the iron farm because that's where the first one is. But when this coal gets done, we need them to have some. So on the main selection, you've got distribution of goods. So if you look at the coal tab, the mint's always going to have more. Sorry, no, the food we need to look at. So the coal mine's right down there. So actually we need a little bit more on that. I always make sure that we get more coal because the coal is needed for the armory and the iron smelter. So that's what we need to do. So the iron smelter should have the coal first because it's only got 1. Well, he's got one as well. But that's what we need, is to make sure that it's done correctly. Right, saving the game. Let's just do the first slot. Don't know what it is. I'm deleting, but never mind. So I would always make sure that the distribution of goods. Likewise, if you go onto this tab, the transportation, I would always put the logs at the top, the stone at the top, and the planks, because the little people who, you know, distribute this, they will always distribute the gold coins first if you don't, you know, do it in hierarchy. So make sure that you've got the building materials going first. Then what you might want to do is just put the food up. I always put the water down and the boats probably that way. You want that a little bit further down to begin with. I think that looks about right at the minute. But yeah, you do want your building materials to be getting out there and chosen first. So as you can see, they've dropped it off at that flag. He's come. But if they start building up there, which they will do, they will grab those materials first. So it's always worth changing that setting. So as we can see, as coal mine started, it might be a good idea to build another little fishery. So I know we've got it on a castle one here, but doesn't matter. So we've got a fishery up here as well. I would imagine that once the farm has been built, that it'll then give us the mill and all the buildings to do that with. So as you can see, these woodcutters are actually doing the job now of keeping the forester happy. So what we can do is we can put a little row in here for the fishery. Never delete a flag when they're walking, because it will just get rid of the goods that they're carrying. And then I can get rid of that flag. So this forester here, look, is going to start building in this area because I've got rid of the paths. So we're just waiting on a soldier to be heading up. Do we have any soldiers? We've got 5. So he is there, look, on his little mission. So the first grain has been completed. So here we go. We can get some more buildings. So what buildings can we get? I'm not going to build on it, but we've got a pig farm. We've got a mill to mill it. Yeah, so as suspected. So we know that. Once that one goes up, it'll be fine. Right, again, I would do a little fishery up here, just to get that food in. And we could do the mill. Well, actually, I'll do the mill further down, because it'll just go down that way. Now this hunter, as I explained earlier, is on 2% because there's not really anything left for it to kill. So I don't tend to bother with hunters. So we'll burn that building down. And his barracks has been done. I'm wondering if there's anything this way, to be honest with you now. Because looking at the map, there might well be. So tell you what we'll do a barracks here, just to have a little check. Now, another thing I would do when you've got plenty of woodcutters is you've only got one sawmill and you can see it's full there, and you'll start getting loads in your headquarters. So get another sawmill on. As you can see, the farm's got 4 plots. It'll probably do another 5. They normally tend to do 5. So what I'm interested to see here is what other materials are up here. So we'll send a geologist up. And because there's all these trees here as well, you might just want to tidy that area up a little bit. It's just personal preference, but it's extra resources. So, but that's kind of what you want. I always probably do 3 to 1 forester, because genuinely you'll just be overrun with trees and you don't necessarily need it. I always get rid of these cactuses by putting flags down on them as well. It's like tidying up the area. So another thing we could do here is go to the back end of this farm. We could do a barracks there, but we'll go around and see if it's going to go around in a loop. So we've discovered a gold vein. Oh, so they give us gold as well on the first game, which is nice. Like I say, I've not played this for a very long time, so I've forgotten the mechanics. But again, gold mine. The problem is, I would always say, is when you've got barracks, just stop the gold coins going to it, because you haven't got enough soldiers, and 1 gold coin, yeah, we've got a bakery. The 1 gold coin with 1 of those is not sufficient, because what will happen is, if you had 2 in there, 1 gold coin will actually upgrade them both. So you're better off marking no gold coins to the barracks to begin with until you get actually more people in. But as you can see, this is just the starter map, so as we go up, that's our base. We go up, it's our base. So I very much doubt there's anyone else on this world. I think it's just getting you started. So here, perfect place to do a bakery, because you're next to the mill. So they'll go from the farm to the mill to the bakery, and they'll go back up to the miners. And we've got a mint as well. So why not? Why don't we do a mint? So I would always do it further down here. I wouldn't do it on your borders, because if you start getting attacked, then it's just going to be more challenging. I ideally want this hooked up with the with that road to go that way as well. It's a shame that there's not enough room for a path there. But it's joined in 2 ways. So what'll happen is, when that mint starts, it'll just put the coins in the headquarters, and then when we get more soldiers, we can put them all in. Because there is a setting on here where military. So this one's for getting the soldiers. This is if you want more defensive. This is if you want to protect your borders, I think. I'm not always 100% sure. That's the defense, if they want them to be more defensive. This is if you want them to be more attacking. This one is you'll fill up away from the borders. So we've got a blue border. If you come across someone else, they might have a red or a yellow border, and you know that they're going to attack you. So that is right on the border. So you always want that up there because you want the most soldiers in where it's needed. But this is the mid. So like if, for example, there were a border here, that barracks would be that control because it's right next to it. That barracks would be like the middle, and say this barracks would be right on the edge here. So if you're doing the mint and you're wanting to get the coins to say, to upgrade the soldiers, and you're absolutely churning out soldiers, you would press this button and that'd get 2 soldiers in that barracks, so that when you're upgrading them, you're upgrading 2 soldiers rather than one off the same coin. So it's, you know, in free games or later games of the campaign, you will have the opportunity to have bigger buildings. So the guardhouse has 3, barracks has 2, the watchtower has 6, and then I think the fortress has 9. So if you imagine one coin upgrading in the fortress, it'll upgrade 3 military at the same time. So you can upgrade them quite quickly. So you wouldn't necessarily build a barracks because you can only upgrade 2. You'd probably always build guardhouses when you get them because you've got 3 soldiers, and with 1 gold coin it'll upgrade all 3 for you. So you've got to be really savvy with the gold coins because, trust you me, the gold mines don't actually produce a lot before they say they've run out. So you've got to be really savvy with the upgrading. So yeah, we've got a fisherman working there, and fisherman's working in there, and then one down at the bottom. So kind of maximise that. We could maybe put one on this side as well. I would always encourage the fisheries. It's an easier way to get your food for your miners. So this mint is unoccupied. So remember earlier when we did the distribution of goods, so we did the food stuff. So actually, we probably want it a little bit further up, but we're not too bothered about upgrading in this game. But the mint is going to get the majority of the coal, so I will put that down a little bit. The farm is working at full potential at 100%, that's what you want. I think it's wanting us to explore the whole map. So I'm going to build another barracks, and what I'll do, because it's given us the option, the pig farm. So the pig farm has wheat, and it also has water. So we've already got a, a well here. Like I said, 100%. It wasn't on a geologist square, but it still does produce it. But as you can see, there's 52 buckets of water in here, so we do not need to build another well. You do tend to get a lot of water because they produce one every minute or so. And don't forget the game's been sped up. So the bakery, look, they've got 2 sacks of flour and 1 water. So that says to me that if we've not got water going there, that this is down. So I always just whack them all up because you get a lot of water. So what they'll start doing now is getting the buckets out of here, and they'll start bringing them up to the bakery. Now interestingly, look, we've got donkeys working on the main tracks, and you can always see what the main routes are because they've always got a little gold over the flag. So that's showing you that that is the main trade route. So what they tend to do with the game, once they turn gold round the flag, is they'll deploy donkeys that's from your headquarters. If you don't have them in the game, then you can build the donkey sanctuaries. Um, so we've minted our first gold coin. Very nice. So as gold coin should probably... Oh, have I missed a barracks? Has it gone in? Have I not said no to them all? Oh, there we go. Because hopefully the gold coin will go in. Yeah, it's there, look. 1 gold coin. So that save the gold coins while you've got barracks and while we're, you know, not encountering anyone. Then when you get the bigger buildings, you can start then upgrading the people. So just keep an eye on these buildings. When you've got gold coins in there, make sure that you're keeping an eye on them to stop the gold coins going in. Yeah, we're getting we need more coal. So I would say the food stuff definitely needs to go to the coal mine more. And we've got another little soldier that's going to go up to this corner. It's going to make us build all the way around here. Lovely. Right. You've not saved in 30 minutes. Oh, blimey. So we've been on an hour. Can't have been on an hour. Is it 20 minutes game time? But we can see we're quite productive down here. We're just needing coal for the mint. But we are producing some nice soldiers. But we've only got 7 beers left. I bet the game won't give us the beers in this. So... We probably don't need this one. Let the forester get some of the glory there. I'm just very confused why these are not working. Because it looks like they are in the game. They're just probably sat there just dormant for me to find. Does it mean I've got a battle of my hands at some point in even the early game? Just can't remember. So look, it's told me no more stone, so we can burn down this building. And if we build a woodcutter here, it'll get rid of these trees for us. Our new pig farm can supply animals to the butcher. So it's telling us now we need a butcher. So, which one's the slaughterhouse? There we go. So again, stop the gold coin going to there. As I said at the beginning, I've pressed V to speed it up, but if you did want to just take a little break from it and you just wanted to slow it down a little bit, you can just take it off. Now, interestingly, if you did want to free up a bit of room, sorry, a few soldiers, and you've built like 2 barracks close together, well, there's 3, on the side where the land you don't really need as such, because, you know, foresters, fishery can actually walk over the borders. They don't have to be within the border area. You could probably delete that one if you needed an extra soldier, if you won't produce them enough. So as you can see, this building was burnt, but if you put a flag in front of it and then do that, it just gets rid of it. So that's been occupied. I know what that is. That's the end goal. So we're nearly finished this part of the game. Now these games do take, when you get into the later one, they could be hours long. So we probably have to split the streams with that. But this one, I can tell that there's like a little gate that you have to get to. So the gate will be, it looks like it's here, 'cause it's normally on a circular platform. So I think once we hit that, it'll then finish this first bit of the game. So it's just really to give you a bit of a starter. To see the mechanics of it and get a nice world moving. Even though it was made in the 90s, this game, it's still a really good game of strategy. To say it's a DOS game as well. I'm playing this game off GOG, the platform, so it's like Steam, Epic Games, your Microsoft Store. It's just called GOG. So if you wanted to play it, you can download it from there. It's a few quid. I actually like the games on GOG because it's like Theme Hospital, Roller Coaster, and all like the typical 90s game that I used to play. So it's a bit of nostalgia for me now in my 40s to play on. So everything's ticking away really nicely. We've got the sawmills that well, 90%, 100%. There's enough woodcutters out there to keep those 2 sawmills busy. But don't always neglect the sawmills if you've got quite a lot of woodcutters, because they do just back up and you just can't get the wood quick enough. So I'd always do a similar design to this, and just that you cluster them all together round the headquarters, because that's your storage. In later game you'll be able to build storage units. You might be able to build one up here, but I would never build one where it's near a border of another civilization, because if they took down that barracks, it'd burn the stars and it'd burn everything in it. You get your people saved, but you lose all your material, so always be careful where you put your stars. There are some games that are really hard where your headquarters just goes straight away, so you have to build stars, and you can direct everything out, so you can basically select all and it'll just start pushing all of those out of the stars, as you can see here, but it won't go anywhere. So again, that's just another strategy, and as we go through the games I'll show you how to be savvy with it. I've played this that much when I was younger, and probably in my 20s and 30s, that I've got the strategies down, and I find the game quite easy, but you know, it is quite challenging when you first begin. So there we go. So it won't let me scan away, but you could see the little gate. So our scouts have discovered a strange object. It looks like a gateway. We are obviously not the first humans on the island. They have even found an inscription on the gateway in Latin. It is bizarre and contradictory. Perhaps it is a riddle. Consist ut procedras. My Latin is not very good. Settle down in order to make progress. What can this mean? So there we go. We've finished the first part of the game. So when you find that gateway, and often you have to fight your way through to get to that gateway, uh, you can actually continue with the map if you're really enjoying it. Or you can go and end the gate, go to the next chapter. So I'm going to leave this here for now, having entered the gate. So we have successfully completed chapter 1. Right, thank you very much for joining. I will do a second gate some other day.